Hi, this is Pam Hansen back with another video. Welcome. If you're new here, I hope you enjoy this. If you watch some of my other videos, I hope this is a good addition to the collection. Okay, Bob started me out here holding the camera for me, and now I'm going to take the camera. And what I plan to do today is a little walk around the house to show you what springtime is like in Minnesota. It's way later than springtime in many other places. So this is the front porch of our house. Currently we have the trailer parked over here for a while. We're getting ready to put a building up for it. But you can see our lawn is kind of back to nature kind of lawn. There are good sections where there's plenty of grass, and there's bad sections where there's not. There's our well. And this flower bed here, on both sides of the sidewalk, is pretty old. Actually, this is all hydrangea bushes that started from one plant and have continued to grow and proliferate. Just a variety of other things over there, some bleeding hearts, some bergenia. I forget what this one's called. This one, for example, has had deer nibbling on it. You can see some of the stems are kind of bitten off. And yesterday I finally got out with the deer repellent spray and got that all over the place, so they should stay away now, at least for a while. Then this section of the front is a newer flower bed. Last year we replaced the lattice that was on the front of the porch with these horizontal boards. I had seen an idea like that when I was out in Truckee, California, and liked that, so Bob and I worked that out. And then we used bricks to make a little curving flower bed all the way back to meet the last one, working on a little rock stacking over there. Not my forte. We have a nice front porch, and we do have a big swing to put up. It's always hanging up. You can see it's sitting down there. We put it down for the winter. So we'll have to get that hung up pretty soon. Now I'm just gonna try to walk around here without jiggling you too much. Here's the end of our garden. Here's one of the bergenia. If you live up in these northern climates, this is often like the first thing to bloom. This is a perennial, and it does multiply also, not real fast. But that's always fun to see the bergenia come out. So Bob has cleaned up all of the dead stuff from last year we figured out we're just going to plant some row of lettuce, spinach, green beans, a couple of tomatoes, 2 plants instead of the 6 that he bought last year, and probably some zucchini. And this is where let me get around on the other side here. The asparagus grows. We have several stalks coming up there, but I think we're going to try to put in some more roots, because these are getting old and they're not working as well as they should. They're not doing the work for us. Here's another thing that came up. It was last year's kale. Actually, some of it survived, and it's growing again this year. And the other thing that always survives is the rhubarb. So I always have a nice big clump of rhubarb over here. Okay, then over here, this is the end of our patio that was placed about 25 years ago maybe. It's all brick pavers, and we tore up the rest of it. It extended as far as that deck goes. And Bob put out a new deck last year. He had the help of a couple of friends, Dana, Phil, Bill. Can't think of anybody else right now. And I tried to be helpful too. But now he had just gotten the deck all together when we left for the winter, well, before it got too cold to work outside. And now that we've come back, he has put all of the railing on it, and we've moved the patio furniture up on there. We actually got new little covers for the chair legs because we didn't want to scratch our pretty new deck. It's some of that composite board there. And so this is all kind of junky right here now. This is a pile of those paver bricks that we need to figure out what to do with. And then I'm going to walk straight back here. Oh, that was a blue jay. Back to this corner of the lot. We have a couple of acres, I think, here. I don't really remember for sure. And most of the houses around here have at least an acre. This is our little composting bin for our rubbish, or the dried stuff we trim. Going back into the trees here, this is full of a lot of wild gooseberry bushes that are really stickery. So I always have to be careful. But here's what I wanted to show you. I'm trying to walk carefully. I just found these last year, growing wild here. These are Jack-in-the-Pulpit plants. And here's one that's got its little pulpit already made. And there's a couple others here as well. They're kind of dark purple underneath that hood. And there's several, a bunch of them growing wild around here. There's some more. And I kept looking for them, and finally I started seeing a few spikes coming up. I'm afraid where to step back here because I might step on one. There's another spike. There's some coming up over there. So that's real fun to see those coming back. They're kind of a unusual, and I wouldn't say rare plant, but you don't see them very often. So, and I don't think, well, I'm not going to transplant them. I think I'll just leave them there. They seem to be happy growing there. I don't know how long they have been back there, because I never really went back there because it's all brushy and itchweed and those nettles, and it's not nice. I might trim it back a little bit to make a path back there. This is another little backyard garden, and we're replacing the fence because the posts, this is old. This was about 25 years ago maybe that we made this little garden. And again, here you can see where the deer have enjoyed eating off the tops of the daylilies. So this I don't do a lot of tending to. It's more or less grow if you can. And here you can see this side of the deck. There'll be a staircase coming straight down here, and then there's one on either the right or the left sides. Let's see, back closer to the house there. And going back here, there's a little bit of rubbish over here on the right because we had to, Bob tore down an old woodshed that we had back here, and a lot of this stuff was stored in that old woodshed, and we're going to be putting in a new building back here, so then the stuff won't be stored in the backyard. But I'm walking you back here because, oh, I forgot to show you. There's, back by where the Jack-in-the-Pulpit plants are, there is a tree right across the fence, that's the neighbor's fence, that has a hawk's nest in it, broad-winged hawks. And there's two of them that are watching a nest over there, and a lot of times if I'm walking back there, they see me and they get a little bit upset. Not today. But here is what I wanted to show you. This is from another bird. I don't know if you're familiar with the bird. It's pileated woodpecker. They are probably the biggest woodpecker I've ever seen. I'm trying to get around these scratchy bushes. But they're well known, well, they're large, but they're well known for making really big holes on trees. This is a dead tree next to a couple that are less dead, not thriving, I guess. And they've been working on this one. This one was real interesting because I can stick my finger all the way in to the knuckle into that hole that's been pecked there. And there's spots all over up and down this tree trunk that the woodpeckers have worked on. Let me see if I can, there's another nice big hole there. And there. Up there. So if you ever see a pileated woodpecker, they look a lot like Woody the woodpecker. They have a red patch and they have a crest and they're black. And they have a really large wingspan and they have a call that sounds like a pterodactyl. You might imagine what a pterodactyl is. I know I sometimes feel like I'm as old as the dinosaurs, but I really don't know what a pterodactyl sounds like. So this is what I imagine it would. And we don't see them very often around here anymore. We did when we first built out here because there were fewer people and they stay away from people pretty well. But that's kind of a sum of where I live, the yard work that is going to be done, or you know, this whole area back here you can see is a clearing. We had a bunch of trees removed. A lot of them were already dead. There were a few live ones that had to be cut down. So that's in preparation for an excavating project, and we've got the guy hired to do that and level this off. And then we have like a pole barn type of building going in there that's a double garage size and a real high door, which is the sole intent and purpose of putting that building back there is to house our trailer. So there's a lot of expenses that go into a trailer. Now we build a building for it. So anyway, that's my little kingdom back here, and where you can tell it's pretty quiet out here. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I hope you have a little bit of wild in your life too. Take care. Bye.